We're back, baby. We're back, and we got all kinds of stuff going on here. Let's see. So the unit is mounted. Now, like everything else, there's a million and one ways to do this. It's you gotta do whatever works for you. I went ahead and chose to mount it up with this. It's about an 1/8 inch aluminum plate back here. When this is off and it's out of the way, you got this little spot that kind of sticks out a little bit here on the composite and the fender, and so I use that as a spot to kind of midway here, center it up, mount it up here. I just use a piece of another 1/8 inch behind the composite to kind of stiffen it up and make the mount through it. Got some rubber isolators on it, no vibrations, and yeah, we're in there. And I use 1 inch. These are 1 inch standoffs to give you good room to stick the ride control computer back inside there as well. So put some dense foam on both sides of this guy, and it slides in there nice and nice and tight. But it's in there. This is just kind of rough wired in, connected for the time being, so I can kind of see how everything sits. You're gonna see, if you don't like wiring, you might want to turn your head now. I know it looks like a little bit of a wiring spaghetti monster nightmare here. The truth is, a lot of this stuff is actually optional. You don't have to do a lot of this stuff, or you can certainly do it differently. I have certain ways I like to do things. This is the other side of the auxiliary harness that they give you, which is nice. So I just kind of set up my own breakout harnesses here for, here we go, for got 5V reference, got the low reference here for sensor returns. So I'm wiring in some sensors here, wiring in some inputs, outputs for additional fuel pumps, stuff like that. I got the connector here for, actually this is going to be the map sensor connector, and I made another one which I don't even know where the heck it went here, but there's another one for the coolant temp, or coolant pressure sensor rather. So I'm making these things up here, and I'm going to loom it all up so it looks nice and pretty when it's all said and done. Like I said, some of this stuff you don't have to do. A lot of the newer harnesses come with a separate map sensor harness already built in. You just have to plug it in. This one didn't have one, so I'm making my own for the map sensor. And then, like I said, I'm adding one for the coolant pressure sensor. That's an add-on. It's my own add-on. So not something you have to do, but nonetheless, want to show you guys. Here it is. It's on. And I'm going to finish looming everything up, making it nice and pretty. Then we're going to do a quick power on, make sure that we've got power, sensors are talking and doing what they're supposed to do. And once that's done, we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. Once I verify that everything's talking, everything's squawking, everything's happy, then we can take it to the next step, which is going to be load up a base map. I'll show you guys how we flash firmware onto it, and that's really easy. And once the program file's in there, load a cal onto the car, onto the computer, and then we should be able to fire it up and make sure everything's good there. So this is just to kind of give you a quick overview of where we are right now, as far as installing the unit itself and the harness and all that good stuff. I mean, it's literally 2 ends of the harness, then that plugs into your ProEFI unit, and then the other end of it, so it kind of snakes around here. Here's the factory stuff. I'm going to end up tucking this away nicely closer to the tanks over here when it's all said and done. But when you see kind of where that is, you got your wideband control box up here. This is the auxiliary harness, the input-output harness. Has 12 pins. So you've got 5V reference, sensor low return. You've got 12 volts ground, straight chassis ground, and a few inputs and outputs. The unit itself actually has a lot more inputs and outputs that are not on the auxiliary harness. You just have to go straight to the actual harness itself. They only have so many spots here, obviously. But you can go to the pins in the harness, and there's additional inputs and outputs and stuff here. So there's quite a bit on there that you can use if you have a situation where you have a car with a million different inputs and outputs and stuff. So yeah, I think that's about it for the time being. Let me go ahead and keep wiring up here, looming stuff up, and once it's all said and done, I'll take another video of everything kind of put together nicely. We'll power it up, and we'll see if we can make sparks fly. So let's stay tuned. Okay, so here we go. Got everything buttoned up. Still have to tuck the harness down here away, but otherwise everything's kind of lined up, buttoned up. Got it to the point where basically we can power this thing up. Got all my sensors ran, everything's wired up, everything's loomed up, everything's nice and pretty. So basically where we are now, fullest of full disclosures here, in an effort not to burn this thing down, I already put power to the car. I wanted to make sure I put power on, nothing went bzzz, and car didn't burn down. So I did that already to make sure I had power, and everything was good. I did power the car up, and everything looks pretty good. I'll kind of walk you over here and show you. Hop inside, and yeah, all right. Keyed it on, and voila, everything's awake, screen's on. Now, what we got to do here first and foremost is create an ECU file. Okay, it's this guy right here. Now, I don't know what was on this car. I have no idea what firmware it was on, what file it was on, or anything like that. So, first step, we're gonna need to make a file specifically for this car. So, create ECU file. This is a Pro 112, and I got my folders up here. What it's asking me for now, I'm creating a kind of a firmware file, right? A base program file. So I'm going to use one of the existing ones that I already have. I made one already for this car, so I'm just going to show you where it is right here. See Jenny 1? So I would pick that, and it's going to say, okay, let's merge that with a cal file now. So I'm going to say Jenny 01 and her first start right here. Okay, I would do that. It's going to say, okay, go ahead and name the new file. Now, as I said, I already did this in preparation, which is where Jenny 1 Pro came from, but I'm going to do it and save a second one for you guys anyway, just so you can see it. But this is the first step in flashing one of these cars. So, Jenny 2 Pro 112, hit enter, and there it goes, does this little thing, is merging that base program file. That program file carries the firmware version. So, I actually did it off of the gray car, so I have the most updated firmware version, 6 point whatever the hell it is, and along with whatever calibration you want to create for the car. So it's merging these two. It tells you right there, here it is. The merge is successful, it's completed, blah, blah, blah. Hit that, goes away. Come back, fire it up again, and this time you've created the ECU file. Now is we're going to flash the ECU itself, okay, with the hardware, with the good stuff. Go 112, pick your file. That one right there. See that? Now this is, once you pick it, you're going to see it do a whole boot sequence, a whole big to-do here. There it is. Get the chimes, the ding-ding-dings. And it's doing its thing now. Now it's loading the whole app. So it's loading the firmware. It's writing a whole base file, and it's loading the calibration on top of that. Once this is done, the car is basically ready to rock and roll. What it's going to tell you, and it'll say right here in a second. Okay. Needs to shut off, needs to depower, all that good stuff. So we'll do that. We're going to turn this guy off. And give me about 60 seconds. We'll get right back to it.